Wunderlich, Joe DeRosa, the officials, and we are underway. Derek Fisher, former member of the Jazz, spent a year here 2 years ago, now back with the Lakers again. Kobe defended by Brewer, and we may have our answer early here tonight.
There's so much discussion in both the Los Angeles papers and the Utah papers about whether Kobe Bryant is being too passive to start the games. He can impact the game equally, Dan, as a facilitator or a scorer. The key is don't abandon either.
He has led the team in assists in each of the first 3 games of this series. The Lakers winning 2 of them. Now a turnover. Kobe comes up with a steal. Kobe backing down Deron Williams, has it knocked away. Williams driving on Trevor Ariza, who had some great moments for the Lakers in the first 2 games of this series.
Look at Kobe Bryant not checking Brewer at all. That allows him to get frontal help on Carlos Boozer.
Here's what the Jazz have been missing, but Okur misses the 3. He knew it and he ran it down. A strained right hamstring, but Okur, one of the best outside shooting big men in the NBA. Kirilenko, plenty of time to shoot, spinning on Bryant, misses the turnaround. Brewer is fouled on the follow.
I don't necessarily think that not starting Bynum hurts. Bynum has been a non-factor, and this is a guy who's going through some adjustments as he returns from an injury.
Yep.
He has gotten into some early foul trouble. Odom, obviously a better pick-and-roll defender than Andrew Bynum. That right knee brace has given him some problems, made him a bit uncomfortable, so it might help that young man in his first playoff experience to start on the sideline.
Just 4 regular season games and now 3 playoff games for Bynum. At game 3, he played only 7 minutes. And as Doris mentioned, he got into foul trouble, picked up 5 fouls in 7 minutes. But what a luxury that maybe no other team in the NBA has, as Brewer airballs the second free throw, to have a guy coming off the bench, or in tonight's case starting, like Lamar Odom. I mean, nobody else has a guy who comes off the bench 21 and 14 like Odom did in game 3.
A 6'10", highly versatile scorer, can actually initiate your offense for Phil Jackson if you'd like him to.
Derek Fisher defended by Deron Williams. Now Gasol spinning on Okur. 8 to shoot. Kobe with a shot fake, goes by Brewer and hits another one. 2 jumpers already for Kobe. And he has that look in his eye, doesn't he, Doris?
Well, he stepped between the lines for warm-ups. There was never a smile. There was no lighthearted moment. There was no shaking hands with opponents. That is old school, ready to take your heart out.
And he was all lighthearted after game 2. The opening statement he made as Boozer knocks down the J. The opening statement Kobe Bryant made in his press conference after game 2, he said, man, I know I didn't play well, but doesn't anybody have any questions for me? He was joking about it on Thursday night. He's all business here on Saturday. Driving again. Banks it in this time. Wow, what a start for Kobe.
He's got every basketball tool on the offensive end you could possibly want. But to me, this guy's greatness lies in his competitive streak. I think casual viewers would tune in and say this guy's just physically gifted. But the reality is there may be no one outside of LeBron James who works harder throughout the course of the year to put up these kinds of numbers.
Kobe with all 7 in the early going for the Lakers.
The best competitors want to win at everything. In a USA basketball, we were told every shooting drill, card game, it didn't matter. Yep. Kobe wanted to win it.
Sounds like somebody we know wore a Bulls uniform back in the day. Andre Kirilenko with the answer for the Jazz 2-point game.
I like Kirilenko. I mean, they don't run a ton of stuff for him, but he's a guy who's got a great basketball IQ, understands when to make those basket cuts.
And if you like versatility and athleticism, Ariza and Kirilenko, a pretty enticing matchup at the small forward spot.
Very clearly, the difference in game 3 for the Jazz was their ability to compete in quarters 1 and 2. They gave up 66 of 62 points in games 1 and 2. You're not going to win games giving up that much in the first half.
Kobe playing off Brewer's son. As Doris mentioned, Brewer not a good outside shooter. Deron Williams gets free behind a screen, buries the 3, and the Jazz have the lead. Gasol, gifted passer from the post, draws the double team, turnaround jumper, air ball. Deron Williams again. Rebound Odom. Odom all the way. The kick. The extra pass. Fisher. And a good box out by Boozer. No Laker within about 6 feet of that rebound.
I like the possession though, Deron. The ball moved from side to side. They got out into transition.
Drew defended by Fisher this time down. Going by him baseline. Too strong.
That is what Brewers should be able to do with Okor on the floor. Okor wants to space. He wants to get out on the perimeter and shoot jump shots. 93's had Okor. That's what will allow Brewers some space to operate.
Gasol, again the double team. It'll be Ariza for 3. And still, Kobe Bryant is the only Laker who has scored. Fisher's going to get another clean look. And the Jazz fortunate. Derek Fisher does not often miss. Looks like he's just got it. Lakers have missed their last 5 from the field. Williams into traffic, and Derek Fisher is going to get called for the foul. 2 shots coming for Williams.
From the lead guard position, best combination of speed and strength is Deron Williams. I mean, the only guy who, to me, is comparable, and it's obviously a different position, is LeBron James. Because you just saw it. Fisher's body is the one who went flying, not this guy.
And you and I spoke of some of Deron Williams' younger days. Not that he's old at 24, but you go back to high school, a high school teammate with Bracy Wright, who wound up playing at Indiana. But Williams was overshadowed a little bit by Wright. Then he goes to Illinois, has a tremendous career, but overshadowed just a little bit by D. Brown. Kobe Bryant, as you can see, struggling in Game 3, off to a great start. Here in Game 4, again the only Laker who has scored. And Deron Williams always playing with, whether he wants to say it or not, whether it's true or not, he's sure just a little bit of a chip on his shoulder in a positive way. Always maybe a little bit underrated and underappreciated. He's turned himself into an all-star and an Olympian at the young age of 24.
And now it's probably Chris Paul who's his rival, or maybe a bit overshadowed. And those 2 great friends talk an awful lot.
Kobe again. He's got all 9 for the Lakers.
I think we have our answer. It's the assassin who showed up this evening.
So it's the Jazz 10, Kobe Bryant 9. 5 minutes and change into the first quarter here in Salt Lake City. Brewer, top pass off a finger of Fisher, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Jazz. Nobody else has done anything at the offensive end other than Kobe Bryant. He's 4 for 4. The rest are 0 for 5.
Don't let that graphic deceive you, though. Derek Fisher has had 2 solid looks. This is not because Kobe's shooting every shot.
Okor out. Millsap in for the Jazz. Millsap in for the Jazz.
Love how hard Millsap competes. That guy just works and works and works. And I think his ceiling as a player is very high. I think he can improve on the offensive end.
Well, if Boozer leaves, they've got a ready-made replacement. He was playing at a near all-star level while Boozer was out with an injury as Kobe misses his first shot. Now 4 for 5. Williams around Gasol. The kick to Kirilenko. The pass to Boozer. Beautiful ball movement.
That, to me, all facilitated, though, by Williams' ability to get to the middle of the floor.
Well, it was all Kobe in the early going, but nobody else has scored a single point for the LA Lakers thus far. Kobe on fire early. 4 of 5 from the field. 9 points, all 9 points for the Lakers. But at the other end, it's the team beating the individual. Kirilenko to Boozer, Jazz by 5. A recap of this series today. Game 1 of the Staples Center. The Lakers took a 22-point lead at the half. Kobe Bryant with 22. Trevor Ariza with 21. And the Lakers win by 13. Game 2, another Laker victory, again an early lead. They went 18 out of 21 in the first quarter. Kobe led it with 26. Lakers win it by 10. Game 3 in this building 48 hours ago. Carlos Boozer 23 and 22. Deron Williams the game-winning shot. Kobe misses the 3 at the buzzer, and Utah wins to get back into the series, now trailing 2-1. And here in Game 4, Kobe Bryant on fire, all 9 points for the Lakers. Utah, though, on an 11-2 run to lead by 5.
Phil Jackson's team had won 51 consecutive playoff games before Game 3, in which they had a lead of 5 points or more entering the fourth quarter. Remember, the Jazz had to come back from 13 down.
Kirilenko defending Kobe on this trip to no avail. He wants the foul call as well. He's got all 11 for the Lakers.
And he just pointed at the crowd. Remember, this is a crowd that has been known to say some harsh things to opposing players. And Kobe, as he came up the floor, looked to our side of the floor and pointed at the fans.
And we'll see next time down the floor if it's Kirilenko again. Ronnie Brewer has drawn the Kobe Bryant assignment for much of the series. Sometimes Kirilenko, sometimes C.J. Miles. Brewer's still in the game, but we'll see if Jerry Sloan will keep with the switch because of the hot start for Kobe. Williams with a crossover on Fisher, can't get the shot off. 4 to shoot. Now he gets free off a screen from Boozer. And a good rebound in traffic by Ariza. The Lakers have to hold their own on the glass. The Jazz out-rebounded them by 15 on Thursday night. Gasol stripped. Williams to Boozer. And an offensive foul on Boozer.
Now, is he outside of the restricted area when he establishes position? It's very close. Could have been moving as well. The home fans are watching it on the Jumbotron. Obviously disagree. Hey, listen, Ian Thompson from Sports Illustrated just did a piece. Block charge is the most difficult call. I don't care what level of basketball you're talking about, Dan.
Andrew Bynum, as you saw, has checked in now for Gasol. So it's Bynum and Odom up front for the Lakers. Derek Fisher with the Rainbow J. And better than 7 minutes in, somebody other than number 24 has finally scored for the Lakers.
Well, you just touched on it. He missed a second wide-open jump shot. That's too good a shooter for him to continue to miss uncontested looks.
Boozer, talk about your uncontested look. Missed the elbow jumper. Bynum the rebound. Bynum feels the majority of his foul trouble has been offensive fouls, that people are getting to the spot quicker than him and luring him into charges. Kobe just shredding the Utah defense.
Well, he did say in today's paper, I think I may look for my shot opportunities a little bit earlier tonight.
I think that's a bit of an understatement so far. 13 of the 15 Laker points. Kirilenko fouled by Ariza.
Kobe went 5 for 24, and there's no question that Brewer is a terrific defender, but good offense beats better defense, and you're talking about one of the most gifted scorers in the history of the game and one of the most competitive natures in the history of the game.
Already more made field goals tonight for Kobe Bryant than he had in all of Game 3. Okur trying to keep the hamstring loose. On the NBA calendar, ABC's got a doubleheader tomorrow. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern time. It'll be Boston and Chicago. Celtics leading 2-1. Detroit trying to stay alive against Cleveland. NBA on TNT tomorrow night. Orlando, Philly, and Portland, Houston. And then Denver and New Orleans with a Game 4 coverage Monday night on NBA TV.
Boy, what a series for Rajon Rondo. Just under a triple-double, 22 points, 10 boards, 9.5 assists. He has been sensational.
They looked so good in Game 3 after losing Game 1 and almost losing Game 2. Millsap with another rebound for the Jazz. Here comes Williams pushing it. Odom trying to stay with him. Kirilenko with a drive and fouled by Ariza. That will be the second on Trevor Ariza, who has become a very important player as the season has gone along for the Lakers.
In fact, Luke Walton basically told Phil Jackson, I'll give up my starting spot. We're better with Ariza, but in fact, Walton will have to come in because Ariza stood up as a perimeter defender. And he lifted out of his defensive stance, and against Kirilenko, that's the last thing you want to do because he wants to put it on the deck.
Brewer will take the shot. They don't respect his jumper very much, but he knocks down the 18-footer. Jazz by 1.
Let's see if he continues to shoot it, because if you're not being guarded, there's a reason you're not being guarded.
Here's Walton now into the small forward spot. Brewer on Kobe Bryant right now. Knocked away. They got to hurry to get a shot off here. Bynum has to force it up. And before the shot, a travel to call on the Lakers. And Phil Jackson pretty fired up here early in Salt Lake City.
Well, it's unusual for him, especially this early in the ball game.
Kyle Korver into the game now for Utah. Jumper airballed by Millsap. Kobe with 13 of 15 for the Lakers. Walton, tough catch. Nice feed. Bynum. Luke Walton, a terrific passer from the small forward position. Williams behind the screen from Millsap. Knocks it down.
Well, this guy's the package. He can spot up and shoot jump shots, but he's an opportunistic scorer. He could care less if he's got 25 or 2. If the Jazz win, he's happy.
And he has averaged those 44 minutes a game in the first 3 games of this series. Odom misses the jumper. 2-1, the Lakers lead the series. Boozer fading away. Tough shot. And it drops. Millsap had a thought about touching it, pulled that hand away. Or did he get a finger on it? They credit that to Millsap or to Boozer?
It should be to Millsap. They're doing a good job offensive rebound and getting themselves second chance opportunities.
That is their 4th offensive rebound already. The Lakers don't have any. Fisher into traffic, and he draws the foul. Deron Williams, maybe not quite matching Kobe Bryant point for point, but doing the best he can. He's knocked down a couple of threes already, and Utah continues to lead. Other than Parker, of course, 43, but they still lose. So look at the brackets, Mark. As now Dallas with that win, they're up 3-1. They can finish off the Spurs, but they'll have to try to do it in San Antonio Tuesday night. New Orleans picking up a win today as they finally get on the board, so they're trailing Denver 2-1. Houston up 2-1, and of course in this series, the Lakers are up 2-1. And what a great start to this game. Utah is leading despite a monster effort in the early going from Kobe Bryant, who's 6 for 7, 13 points already. That last Utah basket, by the way, was credited to Carlos Boozer. No tip, no contact from Millsap, so give it to Boozer. Now Boozer's gone to the bench. Matt Harpring is coming to the game for Utah, and Harpring was so important in Game 3. Came off the bench. Doris, 10 points, great energy in 13 minutes, helping Utah to a 2-point win.
Jerry Sloan talks about one of the greatest workers in franchise history, and when John Stockton is part of your franchise, and you put Harpring in that category, that is a high compliment. He loves Harpring in the way he competes.
And Jerry Sloan, I think, values hard work and toughness more than anything else, and Harpring has a double dose of both. And by the way, congratulations to Jerry Sloan. Along with Phil Jackson's already in the Hall of Fame, Jerry Sloan will be part of the induction class of 2009. Says the thing he's most worried about, making a speech. This is a man who doesn't like to get up there and pound his chest, but he's going to have to make a speech up in Springfield.
He actually used the words, "I'm usually intimidated in those situations." And anyone who's watched Jerry Sloan compete as a basketball coach or as a player, it's hard to imagine this guy being intimidated in any circumstance. But a bit of a bittersweet moment for him. And we asked him about it today. He got a little bit choked up. Right around the time the announcement was made, he lost his brother, and well done. It was a very emotional moment, but congratulations to him. Can't imagine to be a basketball lifer. No one sets out to go into the Hall of Fame, but what an extraordinary feeling that must be.
Been an emotional year for Jerry Sloan. Larry Miller, the longtime owner of the Jazz, passed away. 2 dear old friends of Jerry Sloan, both from his days in Chicago. Norm Van Leer, Johnny Red Curbo, passing away in the same day earlier this year, and the passing of his brother most recently. Korver the save. No, he didn't. Laker ball. Let's check in now with Nancy Lieberman. Nancy?
Well, thanks, Dan. Trevor Ariza is in the locker room. He has a sprained right knee. sprained right ankle. The trainers are trying to re-tape him now, but they're hoping that he can come back. A lot of concern on the Laker bench for him to come back in this game. Dan?
All right, Nancy, thank you. And again, as mentioned, a valuable performer down the stretch and into the playoffs for the Lakers. There's Shannon Brown just called for the offensive foul. Young man out of Michigan State who came over in a trade from Charlotte, the Radmanovic-Morrison deal. Shannon Brown has supplanted Jordan Farmar as the backup point guard for the Lakers. What a pass. I mean, what a pass from Deron Williams to Matt Harper.
That is the first time he's come off and turned the corner and passed. He has been an aggressive scorer off screen and rolls out front for the first part of this ballgame. That time, the vision.
Kobe a little long this time. Korver had Gasol on his back, held off the big man, and enabled his teammate to come up with a rebound.
First two games, the Lakers were dominant with points in the paint scoring. Game 3 and through this first quarter, they're competing inside.
Harpring open. Big minutes again from Matt Harpring. Final possession of the quarter to the Lakers. Other than Kobe, the other Lakers have only scored 7. Vujacic from the corner. In and out at the buzzer, and Utah will lead by 5 at the end of 1. All Kobe Bryant for the first several minutes of this game. 13 points. All in the first 6 or 7 minutes, but the Jazz came back. Kobe rallied again, but then Deron Williams took over, and at the end of 1, Jazz by 5. They just went around him and laid it in, but as you saw, the rest of the team just 2 for 10. So now Odom, Gasol, Walton, Vujacic, and Shannon Brown, the unit that starts the second quarter for L.A.
Ronnie Brewer had done a lot of press about the terrific job he had done on Kobe Bryant. You think he was motivated to score against him?
Brevin Knight misses the jumper. Yet another offensive rebound for Utah. This time it was Harpring. Korver inside. Millsap left hand.
What a different attitude the Utah Jazz here at home in the Energy Solutions Arena. Jerry Sloan talked about it. He said, I wanted more toughness from my guys. They're a different team here.
Gasol with a beautiful spin move on Millsap. And this is a problem that the Jazz have faced at times, their lack of height. Okur did start tonight, but missed the first 3 games. He's their biggest body. And right now, the biggest guys they've got out there are Millsap and Harpring. And the Lakers have Gasol and Odom out there at the 4 and 5 spots.
Now, Gasol is perfect for the triangle. A terrific passer out of the post, particularly interior passing. And he hits cutters off that triangle offense so well.
Harper grabbing at Odom. Odom is tripped and will shoot a couple. I think it's Brevin Knight, 12th-year player out of Stanford. This is 9th NBA team. He'll be called for the foul, and Odom will shoot a couple. Lamar Odom, such big games in the middle of the year when Bynum was out for a while, and a huge game 3. He had 21 points and 14 rebounds off the bench. He has not scored yet tonight. Log on to NBA.com now for the most extensive playoff coverage and in-depth highlights of tonight's matchup, as well as up-to-date scores, stats, and schedules from the postseason. NBA.com. The game happens here. Deron Williams getting a breather for the Jazz. Kobe Bryant on the bench for the Lakers. And 1 of 2 for Odom.
Now in the starting lineup tonight, remember Lamar at the start of the year was put to the bench, had initial negative reaction to it, but then succumbed to his ego and said, all right, I'm going to do what's best for the team. And it has worked incredibly well for the Lakers and for him.
Knight left the scoop attempt short for the Jazz. Back comes Shannon Brown with a full head of steam. Gasol triple teamed. And it'll be Laker ball. And Pau Gasol, a quiet start so far tonight. Doesn't get a whole lot of attention or acclaim. Just keeps putting up about 19 points, 9 rebounds. Game in, game out as Boozer gets ready to come back in for the Jazz. A little more size. Millsap out.
A little frustration by Gasol. He's frustrated he missed that. He spent some time in the weight room, got stronger after Boston. Didn't like being called soft.
What a cut by Odom on the out-of-bounds play, and the Lakers close within 2.
A pretty execution and a terrific curl by Lamar Odom.
Korver inside. Boozer with his 3rd assist of the game already.
It's a contract year for Carlos Boozer. He's showing everything.
And a block on Gasol at the other end. And they are on their feet yet again here in Salt Lake City. Korver. Walton leading the break. Shannon Brown, and that is where that young man excels. In college, you and I saw him a lot. Not a point guard, not really a great shooter, an athletic slasher, and he's acquired other skills at the pro level, but that is still his bread and butter.
Well, he can guard bigger size guard, and speaking of those, here comes Deron Williams, and that's why he's eating up Farmar's minutes. Brown can be an important piece of the puzzle on the defensive end and a transition opportunity. He'll excel in the open floor with the Lakers, Shannon Brown.
Court for Harpering, who as always gets a big ovation. Shannon Brown is mentioned coming over in the trade with Charlotte. The Lakers didn't know that his shooting was as good as it was until he started taking shots in practice, and they're saying, hey, you can shoot. Be assertive. Look for your offense. Again, as you said, a bigger, stronger guy than Farmar. And Farmar didn't play a single minute in Game 3 and hasn't played yet here in Game 4. Okur. Gasol for the rebound. Vujacic on the drive. Into the chest of the defender, Miles, who comes up with a block. Korver's open. Got it.
Yeah, you can see this crowd, Dan. Phil Jackson likened it to attending a rock concert and having your ears ring. We can barely hear each other talk here.
Odom, no. Rebound, Korver. Williams already with 4 assists. Okur won't take that baseline jumper. Korver with a beautiful feed to Boozer. All smiles for the Jazz. Great ball movement and sharing the basketball. Phil Jackson letting the Lakers play through it. Walton for 3. Big shot for L.A. That'll snap a 7-0 run.
A perfect role guy. Luke Walton just understands. I'm not going to make any mistakes. I'm going to make open jump shots. He's a very good passer.
Okur driving on Odom. Nowhere to go. Here's Vujacic. Did not shoot the ball all that well this year, especially compared to a year ago. But a big 3, and just like that, Doris, it's a 1-point game.
He is fearless, Vujacic. He'll have some ill-advised drives, the possession before he went to the hole of 1-on-4. But a guy who is daring and not afraid of moments.
Korver off the screen. Williams the offensive rebound. The Jazz crushing the Lakers on the offensive glass. Miles no. The Lakers can take the lead. Shannon Brown knocks down the 3.
It doesn't feel like the Lakers have played great basketball, and they have the lead.
The Walton 3, then the Brown 3. A 9-0 run, and all of a sudden the Lakers have taken the lead here in Salt Lake City, here in Game 4.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. And AT&T, your world delivered.
Retro look here in Salt Lake. Hey, how about NBA Countdown beginning at 12:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Then a great doubleheader on ABC. It's Game 4 between the Celtics and the Bulls. And a Game 4, the Cavaliers trying to knock out the Pistons. ABC is your destination for the NBA playoffs tomorrow. Then how about some Sunday Night Baseball? It's the Yankees and the Red Sox beginning at 8 Eastern time. Presented by Taco Bell on ESPN and ESPN 360. Baseball tonight driven by Chevy at 7 Eastern. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 16-11 today. In a game that saw 9 home run hits, the Red Sox have won 9 in a row. Meanwhile, our Match.com star matchup, Kobe Bryant had 13 of the first 15 points tonight for the Lakers. He was on the bench at the beginning of the second quarter, has just come back in now. But in his absence, Vujacic hit a 3, Walton hit a 3, Brown hit a 3, and the Lakers have the lead.
After going 0 for 5 from deep in that first quarter, the Lakers have made 3 straight here. And those guys that we just showed coming out of break with those Jazz uniforms, that's taking team spirit a little bit too far. They could almost be in our promos when Mark Jackson comes out.
That's right. Great defense by Shannon Brown, knocking away the alley-oop attempt. Boozer the rebound off the miss by Brown.
Boy, his confidence is back. Phil Jackson said, get your mojo back when he arrived at practice in L.A. You don't take that kind of jump shot in transition unless you're a confident guy.
Look at Vujacic. He's called for the foul. There was nearly a fight in practice yesterday at the Laker practice. Vujacic playing defense on Adam Morrison, and he was so much in the jersey of Morrison that Morrison wanted to deck him in practice. Morrison not dressed tonight. Vujacic just doing the same thing to Kyle Korver here.
Well, remember what Phil told Nancy. We needed to push our perimeter defense out a little bit. That was Vujacic listening to his coach, pushing out on him.
The foul on Pau Gasol. Carlos Boozer will go to the line.
Don't you think that's a good sign, though? I mean, the Lakers, I think, are such a physically gifted team. And they can score from so many positions. And even Phil Jackson said it today. You know, we were thrilled to see Memo might play because we need a lineup that will challenge us. I think when you're as talented as they are, you can, think you can outscore people as opposed to competing on a play-by-play basis.
This game has been much different from the first 3. These guys. The Lakers had a 22-point lead in game 1. It got down to 9. They had a 20-point lead in game 2. It got down to 3. And they had a 13-point lead in the second half in game 3, and they lost that game. This is the first of the 4 games, really, where it's been this close in the first half of the game. Already 10 points, 7 rebounds for Boozer. Kobe.
No.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Absolutely. You can't guard that.
15 for Kobe. Boozer has been a real distributor tonight, already 3 assists as well. Double team on Williams on the perimeter. Boozer on the drive. Odom comes up with a rebound. Boy, you drive into the teeth of that Laker defense and you're running into a 7-footer or 2. Vujacic in transition with a 3.
So dangerous. They can put a ton of pressure on you because they don't need one specific guy to trigger their break. It can come from a lot of different spots.
Trevor Ariza, by the way, back on the bench after twisting that ankle, should return. Kobe with a reverse. 17 for Kobe Bryant. Largest lead of the night for the Lakers. Timeout, Jazz.
Kobe Bryant. If Mark Jackson were here, and I know he's watching because he's a basketball fan. Mama, there goes that man. Turning over his right shoulder. You know he wants to fade away jump shot. In transition. Vujacic. Go ahead, LA. They're on the run. And when they're out running, they're dangerous. Defense turns to offense. Utah, you might be in a world of hurt because they're playing now.
Dan?
All right, Jonesy, thank you. And they're going back to L.A. for Game 5 in this series. We know that. But will it be 3-1 Lakers or will it be 2-2? If Kobe Bryant has to say it's going to be 3-1 Lakers, he's a point away from tonight. He hasn't stopped shooting and scoring since. Trevor Ariza's back in. Rolled the ankle, but he's okay.
Well, the scary part is now the bench is starting to contribute as well for Los Angeles, and that's where they're so dangerous. They're 6 for 9 off the bench, including 4 threes.
Kirilenko, no, kept alive by Odom, and Gasol comes up with a rebound. Odom has been very active on the glass. 7-0 run right now for the Lakers.
An important time here for the Jazz. I mean, you do not want this thing to get away from you and have to expend a ton of energy to come back from a double-digit deficit.
Kobe, a little short on the jumper over Kirilenko.
So that's your stop. Now go ahead and get a score. Let's see if they go inside the Boozer or set a high screen and roll. Nope, entry to Boozer.
Brewer. To Deron Williams, still plenty of time to shoot. They leave Brewer unguarded again. Not this time. Kirilenko kept it alive, but another rebound for Odom. 3-on-2 Lakers. Fisher, the pull-up from 18. Got it.
So really hard. That's one end where you're playing 5-on-4 because Los Angeles is not stepping anywhere in the vicinity of Ron Brewer. Gives an advantage on the glass, which leaks you out into transition.
9-0 run right now for the Lakers. Brewer gets inside. No foul. Odom another rebound. Lakers running again. Gasol, good deep position on Millsap, and a foul. Now Millsap was giving up real estate, and he's also given up a lot of height. Now Gasol quiet thus far. 2 points, 3 rebounds in 17 minutes. Bynum played sparingly in Game 3 because of foul trouble. Did not start tonight. Has only played 3 minutes here tonight, but Odom's playing well.
Different rhythm to the playoffs. So when you step inside an NBA arena at playoff time, Dan, and the intensity is almost something you could reach out and touch. He gave great hope to Lakers fans because when he came back, he was terrific. But this is a different level.
Millsap. And Deron Williams picks up another assist, his 5th.
Williams so dangerous if you allow him real estate in the middle of the floor because options open up and he can see every single one of them.
Second in the league in assists this year behind only Chris Paul. Immediate double team on Kobe. Fisher. How about the arc on that jumper? Broken play. Fisher picks up the errant pass and knocks it down.
Yeah, with a hand in contest. It was pretty good rotation. It was really good defense. Just a terrific shot by Fisher.
Boozer. And assist number 6 for Deron Williams. The Jazz down by 9. Final 3 minutes here in the first half. Utah has led most of the half, but a huge run here in the second quarter, and the Lakers now have the lead. Gasol right over the top of Boozer's head. Knocks down the jumper. Just held it high above his head and knocked down the J. Williams fouled.
Look at that strength. I mean, he is so good taking contact and being able to get shots up.
Well, Deron Williams doing all he can, but the Jazz in a little bit of trouble right now. The Lakers are up 11 here in Salt Lake. Well, you can make an excellent case that this building, Energy Solutions Arena, is the loudest building in the NBA. We asked Phil Jackson how he would like his team to deal with all that noise.
There's the idea that your ears are ringing when you go in the locker room, and that's always disorienting. It's like being at a rock concert in this place, or maybe even worse. So there's that aspect of striving to maintain an equilibrium because of the daunting amount of noise. But we talk about using it. It's energy. Use that energy regardless of whether it's for or against you. You can still mount that and ride that.
And they certainly did. Certainly Kobe Bryant did here tonight in the early going. Phil Jackson with 9 NBA championships, 6 with the Bulls, 3 with the Lakers, tied up with the great Red Auerbach for the most ever. And Phil told us before the game he's not ready to think about next year right now. It depends on his health. It depends on whether or not they win it. But right now he's just thinking about this current postseason.
So you get the sense that if they win it, he wants to come back to defend it. And think about this success. He's been at the helm of 9 of the last 18 NBA championships. Naysayers would say about Phil Jackson, well, he's always had the best players. He's had Michael Jordan and Kobe and Shaq and so on and so forth. The coaching in this league is so good, and you can lose and waste tremendous talent. So he's up against them. How about his record in the first round when he's seeded number 1? 24-3. So game 3 loss was only the 3rd time he's lost in round 1 when he's been seeded number 1. His winning percentage is ridiculous.
And another great coach, Jerry Sloan, on the other side for the Jazz, who's going into the Hall of Fame this year. Kobe again, the closest Jerry Sloan has gotten to that elusive NBA championship back in 97 and 98 when he lost to Phil Jackson's Chicago Bulls. The Lakers, by the way, are shooting 68% here in the second quarter, but Kobe Bryant now has 19. Millsap a miss, and another rebound for Odom is 8th. Kirilenko slows down Kobe.
He passed up a shot opportunity. I'm surprised he did not shoot that pull-up jumper right inside the free throw line.
It'll be Fisher, and a foul. Good strong drive to the goal by Derek Fisher. Coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show, we'll go back to the studio. Mark Jones, Avery Johnson, Jalen Rose. And they will show you how Dallas overcame a huge game from Tony Parker, but also big games today and tonight for Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade. At the line, Derek Fisher was a member of the Jazz 2 years ago at the end of the year, asked out of his contract to go to a city where his daughter, who was then just an infant, was suffering from a form of eye cancer, wanted to go to a city where there was the medical treatment that she needed, so he opted out or was allowed to leave, went to the Lakers, came back here to the Jazz, and was not greeted very warmly at all by Utah fans, who, as you mentioned, not only are some of the loudest, but they can be really, really tough. I mean, if they love you, they love you, but if they're on you, they're on you. And they got on Derek Fisher, and it's really a moment that has been hard for him to distance himself from, but he says he has learned from it, he has moved on. Millsap inside and 1.
You're right, Dan. Should Carlos Boozer move on and opt out of his contract, which he has said he will do, they've got a guy waiting in the wings, and he was sensational while Boozer was out. A strong finish, the explosion around the rim, the competitive drive, the work ethic that drives this guy is right up Jerry Sloan's alley.
Bynum back in for Gasol, who picked up the foul, his second. Millsap at a Louisiana Tech, the same institution that produced Karl Malone, and Millsap led the NCAA in rebounding 3 years in a row. Boozer, rebound and a putback. It's a 4-point trip for the Jazz.
Yeah, that to me is, again, about attitude. Kobe passes up a shot. Don't lose your killer instinct if you're the Lakers. You know, if you're Phil Jackson, you want them to close the quarter strong. That's what great teams do.
Utah on the offensive glass, out rebounding the Lakers 7-1, but none of that matters if Kobe keeps knocking down shots. He's got 22.
Best closure in the game, whether it's a quarter or whether it's a game or championship series.
5 of 24, 18 points in game 3, 10 of 13, 22 points already in game 4.
Kobe has come out from the outset of this game looking to establish himself as a scorer, trying to redeem himself with a 5 for 24. He wiped out that memory in a hurry.
Scored about 20 seconds into the game at 13 of the Lakers' first 15 tonight. Odom out, of Vujacic coming back in. Walton has replaced Ariza as well. Lakers are shooting 70%, 14 for 20 here in the second quarter.
Great execution. And again, falling asleep on the defensive end. Remember the Lakers, what they start the year saying after Boston took them apart in the finals? We're about defense this year. That's a case in point.
Kobe, right by Kirilenko, but there was a foul. Williams are harping down near the rim, and Jerry Sloan doesn't like it one bit.
He might have to turn off his microphone to say what he wants to say in that particular instance.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that's... Well, we get multiple looks. I think it's a good call. I know the crowd doesn't like it, but I think it's a good call.
Well, Kobe to the line. Just a second free throw attempt of this game. And a three-point play earlier tonight. Josh Powell has checked in for the first time now for the Lakers. What a night already for Kobe.
Similar theme, Dan. 60 points again in the first half. In games 1 and games 2, again, 66 and 62 for the Lakers. Just doesn't look like the Jazz has enough defensively for this team.
Game clock and shot clock just about bang on here at the end of the half. 40 points this quarter for the Lakers. Great crossover, Williams. And he is fouled. He goes tumbling into the photographers and the cameraman down on the baseline. That's a freight train coming at you.
Crossover is sensational. I mean, he's got nobody near him, folks, because the crossover was that good. But you're right. That's a dangerous area to be. If it's LeBron James or Deron Williams coming at you, you better get out of the way.
And that call went on Kobe Bryant, his first. Williams initiating the contact right into the chest of Kobe.
Guess I could have had Shaquille O'Neal, too.
Yeah.
Shaquille's coming at you. Probably want to move.
13 points, 7 assists in the first half for Deron Williams. Gasol in for Powell. Powell got about 8 seconds of court time, got lectured on his way out of the game as Gasol comes back into the Lakers, getting a chance to get the ball back again. Ten-point lead, Lakers. Williams, yes, and the foul.
Now, what a terrific way to end the half with Utah. Some careless play by the Lakers. You try to enter the ball to Kobe at 60 feet. Instead, a defender tips it right to Deron Williams, and the and-one situation, another case where Deron Williams takes contact so physically strong that he's able to finish.
What a burst of momentum for the Jazz heading into the half. So after a huge run by the Lakers, Deron Williams takes over in the closing seconds of the half. But Kobe Bryant was the man through the first 24 minutes with 24 points on 10 of 13 shooting, offsetting an extraordinary first half for Deron Williams as well. Kobe standing by with Nancy Lieberman.
Thank you, Dan. Kobe, a rough game last game, 5 of 24. What's been the difference in this game for you?
I wanted to come out and be a little bit more aggressive. And I felt like I was sitting back waiting a little too long.
Defensively, what do you have to do to control Carlos Boozer, especially around the paint?
Well, we got to put a body on him. You know, he's getting in there, getting offensive rebounds without being physical enough with him, and he's taking advantage of it.
All right, thank you so much. Dan.
All right, Nancy, thank you. The Toyota halftime show is coming up with Mark Jones, Avery Johnson, and Jalen Rose. They'll recap.
Rebound for us to be successful. Dan.
All right, Nancy, thank you. So we go to the second half. The Jazz need a win to square the series at 2. A Laker win, and they'll go home up 3 games to 1. So realistically, a game that Utah desperately needs. Mehmet Okur didn't do much in the first half. A Utah turnover here to begin the second half. Back come the Lakers. Gasol, pass tipped away by Brewer. Boozer comes up with it. Kirilenko inside the arc. 5-point game. The wins for LA in games 1 and 2, high-scoring affairs. As Doris talked about, they reached and actually surpassed 60 points in the first half in each of those 2 games. Utah won a low-scoring affair, 88-86 in game 3. Kobe fading away. 26. He is making unstoppable, unblockable shots. There's nothing Ronnie Brewer can do.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And that's his pet move. If he turns over that right shoulder, it is the fadeaway jump shot. He's creating plenty of space. And even with a hand in contest, it hasn't mattered.
What a pass. Boozer to Kirilenko. And you know what? Going back to Kobe after Game 3, nobody from Utah was willing to pat themselves on the back and say, hey, I know why we shut down Kobe, or I'm the reason we shut down Kobe. They didn't want to wake him up, but he woke up all on his own. And it started from the moment this game began.
Now, this is the end that Jazz have got to get better at in this basketball game. Again, 66 and 62 points respectively. Kobe's just ridiculous.
Just inside the arc after dribbling between his legs 2 or 3 times with the shot clock running down, never in doubt. He was turning back on D-Doors before the ball went through the net. He knew it. Kirilenko.
They're keeping pace right now. And this is what I have to say about the Lakers. I mean, it doesn't appear to me that on a possession-by-possession basis, they're locked in defensively. And that was their big calling card to start this year after, again, their loss to Boston in the finals.
Odom doing it himself and banking it in.
So you know they can do this. The Jazz have nothing for them defensively. The Lakers can score from a lot of positions and off the bench.
Nobody's missed a shot yet this quarter. Williams misses one. Odom with a rebound.
Yeah, remember around Christmas time, Magic Johnson had a teleconference, and he said, if you want to win championships, defense never goes out of style. It's about that end for the Lakers, I think. Wow.
He just keeps knocking them down right in Brewer's grill. Tough, contested, long 2-point jumpers for Kobe Bryant, who's now got 30. And Jerry Sloan's going to go to the bench. And C.J. Miles will take a shot at it. Brewer knocks one down. They're trading baskets. How do you like to, you're sitting on the Utah bench. You see Kobe Bryant making the most ridiculous shots ever. And then the coach points to you and says, you're in the game. And you know why you're going in. Kobe again, defended by Brewer again. Kobe with 30. 32 for Kobe. 14 out of 17.
This is as much about will as it is skill right now.
He has given the whole state of Utah a giant take that right now. And he's been doing it all night long. Okur can't get the shot off. Lakers have made 10 shots in a row, Doors, going back to the first half. Deron Williams misses the 3. Gasol holds off Boozer for the rebound. Kobe behind the back. Kobe inside is fouled. And then discards Mehmet Okur in the aftermath.
And this started almost right as he stepped between the lines for warm-ups. There was no messing around. Kobe Bryant has come out in the second half very much the way he did in the first half. It hasn't mattered who's checked him, how close they've been, if a hand's up or not in contest. It's lights out for Kobe Bryant.
Those were his first 2 baskets here in the second half. You can see neither one of them was easy or routine. That's a contested shot. Brewers playing good defense on him right there. And then using the screen up and over Okur.
What does this feel like? See, there have been moments where I've watched LeBron live this year, and he flat refuses by will and by skill to allow Cleveland to lose games. And that looks to me like what Kobe Bryant is doing here. He wants no part of this series being 2-2.
No smiles, no lightheartedness from Kobe. He had that look from the moment he came out for warm-up tonight. Comes down with a rebound. Kobe's got 10 already in this quarter. 10 of their 12. Williams knocks it away from him. And he'll get 2 at the other end.
The only danger here for Kobe Bryant, when he goes off like this, his teammates can tend to watch. Listen, they enjoy it as much as we do, right? We're loving this. But they can't stop playing. The triangle's a system predicated on player movement and ball movement. Let's see what happens.
Deron Williams drawing the assignment again. Kobe gives it up. Ariza gets it back. And Gasol will lay it in. And is fouled.
Gasol was asked if it bothered him that they called him soft after the final series against Boston. He said, "What do you think?" So he got in the weight room and look at him physically. He looks like a different guy. He's always kind of going to be leanly built in.
Yep.
But you can pay the price and get stronger.
Okur out. He has had limited minutes and been of limited effectiveness tonight for the Jazz. You can say the same for Andrew Bynum of the Lakers. Millsap back into the game for the Jazz as Gasol completes the three-point play. Okur, his first game back, a strained right hamstring, keeping him out of the first 3 games of this series.
I think it's a rare player to come back after missing so much time and in the playoffs be effective. I'm not sure how many guys could do it with the intensity level this high.
Boozer heading to the line after the foul. Number 2 on Kobe. Carlos Boozer missing 44 games this year. Originally an injury diagnosed as a bruised quad. Eventually, several weeks later, had knee surgery. Came back in February, but only really started playing like himself late in the season and into the playoffs. And he's had 3 very good games, including a monster game in game 3. And he's having a terrific night again here. 15 points, 8 rebounds, and let's not forget 5 assists tonight for Carlos Boozer.
There's a contract year for him. Some motivation, a lot of speculation about why they go 2 and 7 down the stretch.
Free throw grazed the rim and then saved by the Jazz. It's going to be a kick ball. So Utah getting a break. Phil Jackson, I think, is saying that ball didn't hit the rim. Didn't hit the rim, you blow the whistle, Laker ball.
Watch the trajectory. Does it change?
Tough to tell from that angle.
Wow, it doesn't look like that.
Break for the Jazz, maybe. Miles. And Odom holds off Millsap for the rebound. Odom now into double figures with his 10th board. Kirilenko with a steal. The Jazz not rolling over. Kobe Bryant defending Millsap right now, who's the power forward in this Utah lineup. Millsap with a jumper. The crowd thought that Gasol might have taken that ball off the cylinder, but it's Laker ball.
That defensive sequence, all 5 purple jerseys were in the paint, Dan. All 5.
Kobe off to Odom and a foul. And that all started because of all the attention that Kobe Bryant demanded out on the perimeter. 34 for Kobe Bryant, putting on a show here in Salt Lake City. Well, a lot of the talk after game 3 was Kobe Bryant and the 5 for 24 shooting. You knew that wouldn't happen again. We asked Phil Jackson earlier today what he was looking for tonight. Kobe the facilitator or Kobe the scorer?
Kobe usually has an idea of how he wants to attack, and usually I'd anticipate him coming out tonight and playing on a tear, simply because he had a game that he did not enjoy. None of us enjoyed. But his facilitating that happened in game 2 is really the spark that this team thrives on. It gets the big guys easy shots. It gets our 3-point shooters open looks. And it just goes to show that he doesn't have to score.
Well, their last possession was a case in point. He was attacking with the dribble, but he passed it up. And this is what makes this guy so dangerous, is he can raise the level of the guys around him.
And meanwhile, and we'll see what happens when the Lakers get the ball back the next time. The last few minutes, Jerry Sloan asked Deron Williams to guard Kobe Bryant. Right now, C.J. Miles is lined up beside him. Kirilenko's had a try. Ronnie Brewer's had a try. If it continues to be Deron Williams, then Jerry Sloan's asking Deron Williams to do everything. He's got to score. He's got to lead the offense, find people, potentially defend Kobe. That's a big load.
How many minutes has Deron Williams played in this series? It feels like he hasn't missed many of the minutes.
Yep. He has sat out 2 minutes tonight. And he has sat out a total of 12 minutes in the first 3 games. So he's missed 14 minutes. That's it in the first 4 games of this series.
And just to go back to that point on Kobe, remember the triangle offense is a system predicated on ball movement and player movement. And it's best when there's a lot of activity and involvement from a lot of spots.
Fisher comes up with a steal. Bounce pass. Luke Walton lays it in. 14-point lead for the Lakers, largest of the night. Remember, at about this point in Game 3, Utah was down 13, rallied to win. Let's see if they can mount a comeback here in Game 4.
78 points on only 46 shots by the Lakers. That is about as efficient as you can be.
Deron Williams will draw the foul.
Speaking of the triangle offense, just a moment to send our thoughts and prayers out to Tex Winter, who is battling some health difficulties today, and I know it weighs heavily on the Laker family and the NBA family.
Tex Winter, of course, a consultant with the Lakers, the architect of the triangle offense, alongside Phil Jackson for the run in Chicago as well. And Tex Winter reportedly suffering a stroke earlier today, and we send out our thoughts to him and his family. It's Miles. There's the double team, and Kirilenko fouls Kobe Bryant.
And remember, that double team for Jerry Sloan is unusual. He is old school, and their system defensively is predicated on guys being able to guard their man. He told us today, he said, listen, watch this double team come. He said, I don't like that, because then you're allowing Kobe to pick you apart with his passing ability, and there's too many scores on the Lakers. But he's been so good, you better do something.
And I beg your pardon, Miles called for the foul, though it looked like it was Kirilenko who clobbered him on that play. It'll stay with the Lakers, 8 to shoot. So Miles called for the foul, and it is Miles on Kobe Bryant. 14 fouls already this quarter on the Jazz. 4 different Utah players have had their opportunity, for lack of a better term, to cover Kobe Bryant. Gasol, Kirilenko, easy work on that. And the officials will confer whose ball is it going to be. Joe DeRosa, Bill Spooner talking it over. Excuse me, Mark Wonderlich, Bill Spooner talking it over. It's going to be Laker ball, but just 1 on the shot clock.
Well, there were some technicals in Game 2 in this series. Would it surprise you? Game 2, Game 3. Wouldn't surprise you if there's another one here.
These two teams also played each other in the final game of the regular season. You wouldn't have blinked if that had gone in the way Kobe's night's been going.
How does he even get that to touch orange?
Williams, in and out. Great scrappiness there by Millsap to get him another possession. Boozer, Millsap, and a foul.
This crowd is waiting to explode. I mean, in anticipation on that play, everybody started to raise up out of their seats. They are dying for something to cheer about here.
They're going to get even more energetic because Matt Harpering's going to come back into the game. Millsap to the line. Now Korver will check in as well for the Jazz, and Shannon Brown for the Lakers. 3 games already in the books tonight. This is the 4th and final game. And a look at the NBA calendar tomorrow. An ABC doubleheader beginning with the Boston and Chicago. Celtics up 2-1. Cleveland will try to finish off Detroit tomorrow. On TNT tomorrow night, a doubleheader. Orlando with Philadelphia, Portland and Houston. The home teams leading both of those series 2-1. And it'll be Denver and New Orleans Monday night on NBA TV, with New Orleans picking up their first win in the series earlier today over the Nuggets.
Thaddeus Young, somebody we watched at Georgia Tech. Makes the game winner against Orlando.
A young, confident Philadelphia team right now. Walton Strip got it back, in and out. Boozer, surrounded by purple jerseys, and he turns it over. 3-on-2 Lakers. The trailer was Odom. Utah ball. Numbers. Walton down behind the play. Open is Korver. They need it, and they don't get it. Harpering with an offensive rebound, and he turned it over. Walton got a finger on it. The Jazz are letting some opportunities to narrow the gap slip through their fingers.
Well, it was just a sequence that was important for Lamar Odom.
Odom again, and 1.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, now see, Jeff Van Gundy talks an awful lot about people not appreciating what this guy gives you. He had to check Carlos Boozer on one end. So 6'10", he's got you versatile enough to check Boozer. 6'10" off the left-handed bounce, putting the ball on the deck. He draws big defenders away. Millsap, you're in trouble, fella, with somebody coming at you.
Number 3 on Millsap. Odom coming off the 21-point, 14-rebound effort in the loss here to Game 3. 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists already here to Game 4. Kobe Bryant to the bench. Kobe has really scored in bunches in this game. Had 13 points in about the first 6 minutes of the game. Played the rest of the first quarter, didn't score again. Sat out the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, then lit it up at the end of the half again, and then lit it up at the outset of the third quarter. Had 10 points in the first few minutes of this quarter. 34 on the night. Williams to Boozer, and a foul on Gasol.
He is just so good. I mean, his size with that strength, that handle, his passing ability. What do you take away with Carlos Boozer?
3 on Gasol. Boozer to the line. And again, up in the air whether Carlos Boozer is going to be here next year. He made a comment earlier this season that he would opt out and try to explore his options, looking for the best deal he could find. The world, the economy have changed somewhat in recent months, but remains to be seen whether or not the two sides are interested, or whether Boozer opts out. And again, in Paul Millsap, that's a pretty good plan B for the Utah Jazz.
Well, he's not the most popular guy in Cleveland, Carlos Boozer.
Yeah.
He certainly would not be the most popular guy in Utah if he leaves.
Utah shooting just 60% from the line in this game. And they can ill afford to miss any freebies. Down 15. No violation on Gasol. Odom leaves it short. Gasol had it, and a loose ball foul on the Jazz. Foul on Korver to take us to a break. It's all Lakers here in the third quarter, all Kobe most of the night. ABC is your destination for the NBA playoffs tomorrow. Action tips off at 1 Eastern. It's the Celtics taking on the Bulls in Game 4. Boston up 2-1. Then LeBron and the Cavs trying to finish off the Pistons in Game 4. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern with GMC NBA Countdown. Grab some dinner after the doubleheader and then settle in for Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Presented by Taco Bell. It's the series continuing between the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Red Sox winning on a Kevin Youkilis walk-off home run Friday night, hitting 6 home runs in a 16-11 win over the Yankees today at Fenway. Who knows what will happen tomorrow night? Well, Kobe Bryant has struggled historically in this building in the playoffs. That's 2 games last year, and then a Game 3 here on Thursday night. Tonight, he's doing all right. 34 points, 14 out of 18. And remember, one of his 4 misses was the desperation shot with the one on the shot clock on the inbounds play. It's hard to count that one against him. Really, 14 of the 17 true attempts that he has made tonight.
So what's the biggest difference with Jerry Sloan in this half? Kobe has continued to score at the pace he did in the first half, but Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer just 2 points apiece here in the second. They have not kept pace scoring.
This is the largest lead of the night for the Lakers, looking to take a 3-1 lead in the series and taking it back to LA for Game 5 on the verge of advancing. Number 8 seeds have only knocked out number 1 seeds 3 times in NBA history. That goes back 25 years since the NBA expanded the playoff format to 16 teams. Gasol, nice look. Vujacic in the corner. Rebound Millsap.
Real advantage to be 7 feet, use a power dribble. When you pick it up, to be able to go right over the defender because you've got great vision.
Harpering giving up a lot of size, and look at that. Odom just too big. Just took it right away from him. Odom a little late getting up into the play for the Lakers. Walton too strong. The follow is there, and it's all Lakers right now. It was 60-53 at the half. So the Lakers are outscoring the Jazz 24-12 here in the third quarter. Kirilenko, great shot fake, goes by Shannon Brown, left hand good.
got to get some scoring from somewhere outside of Boozer and Williams. Kirilenko did that in the first half. A little dribble drive after using the up fake to get the defender committed.
And Jerry Sloan hardly taking Deron Williams out of the game. He is sat for only 2 minutes tonight. Kobe Bryant gets a rest. Derek Fisher gets a rest. Deron Williams doesn't. Gasol spinning on Millsap. What a move.
See that increased strength? It allows you to keep your balance. So he took a bump. Looked like he might get cut off and lose his rhythm to the rim. But that time in the weight room paid dividends.
The Lakers have as many points now as they had in the entire game in the loss in Game 3. Odom with another rebound. 12 on the night for Odom on the glass.
The other difference here in the third period for the Lakers, they're finishing the quarter strong.
Harpering with a steal. Williams to Korver. Yes. But it's still a huge mountain to climb for the Jazz here in Game 4. Shannon Brown is fouled underneath. Deron Williams called for the foul.
Now, Kyle Korver is known as a spot-up three-point shooter or a one-dribble pull-up jump shooter. This time in transition. He's got some size he's got to contest. So watch him use his body. Puts his left shoulder into the chest of the defender. Pretty shot.
So here's Shannon Brown again becoming a factor. Moving into that Laker rotation, rendering Jordan Farmar to the end of the bench. And the amazing thing is Brown, Farmar was an 18 to 20 minute a game guy most of the season. Brown never really thought of as a point guard. He was a slasher, but here he is knocking down open shots, running the offense. They've got guys like Walton and Kobe and Gasol. They've got so many good passers on this team. They can really share the load.
It's a game of confidence, isn't it? And you wonder how Farmar is. Derek Fisher talked about that to us earlier today. He said Farmar's out of the rotation, and he was an important piece. It'll be interesting as this playoff series moves on. What happens?
Williams off to Kirilenko. Gasol with a rebound. And the third quarter comes to a close. Boy, Korver blocking what would have been a 60-foot attempt there by Vujacic. The third quarter comes to a close with Kobe Bryant again dominating the opening minutes of the quarter. He has been amazing all night long. The game high 34. He's getting a lot of help. And it's all Lakers with 12 minutes to go here in Salt Lake City.
So amazing. It's amazing.
Dump it down to a big guy. The game plan generally is just try to make him work as hard for his shots as you can. Do you think they've succeeded? Has he made hard shots, or is he getting better looks tonight?
No, he's made hard shots. I mean, he doesn't need a ton of space, Dan. There's been shots tonight that are ridiculous.
If you look at his first 3 or 4 baskets in the opening minutes of the game, he created the space. He did it all himself, and that's what he did at the beginning of the third quarter as well.
You know who can stop Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant. I mean, it took him 9 minutes in Game 1 to score. It took him 8 minutes in Game 2. It was nearly halftime in Game 3 before he scored. Tonight, 17 seconds in.
Kirilenko too strong. Now, Andre Kirilenko's had a lot of open looks, but has not knocked down the jump shots tonight. 5 of 12, 10 points on the night. Williams has 19, Boozer 16 to lead the Jazz. The only Laker in double figures other than Kobe Bryant is Pau Gasol. But there's some of that athleticism we talked about earlier for Shannon Brown.
This guy's just competing right there. Great hustle.
Missed the reverse, but he was fouled. And a big smile on his face. You're Shannon Brown. You've played for Cleveland, Chicago, Charlotte. You're not playing a whole lot for Charlotte. You're not going to the playoffs. You get traded for the Lakers. Here you are in the rotation making things happen.
I mean, out of nowhere. I guess if Kobe Bryant says to you at your first practice, shoot the ball, you're probably going to listen.
Yes, sir.
He's coached by one of the all-time great guys in college basketball, Michigan State's Tom Izzo. And Coach Izzo has produced a number of NBA guys. I'm not sure that we would have thought that Brown would be so successful on a stacked Laker team.
He's got 10 points tonight, had 9 in game 1, had 12 in game 2. Boozer fading away over Gasol. Kobe the rebound.
The other thing that slowed down for the Jazz, they're one and done now in this second half. They're not getting a lot of second chance opportunities. And you know what, to me, that's a product of, Jerry Sloan said to Nancy, we're not getting the kinds of shots I want.
Korver foul.
When you have shots coming from places on the floor that you generally don't have them, your rebounders are not in position. So that could be contributing to their lack of offensive boards.
Well, Deron Williams was the guy who had such a huge first half for the Jazz, keeping them in the game, but in the second half has not found the range, has added just 2 points to his first half total. And again, he's being asked, he never comes out of the game, and he's been asked to check Kobe Bryant on a number of occasions here in the second half. Let's check in with Nancy Lieberman.
Well, thanks, Dan. I had a chance to talk to Kyle Korver before the game. You know, his mom averaged 40 points a game in high school as a senior. And Laney, she might be the best shooter in the family. She has a career-high 73 points. He said, you know what? My whole family was great shooters. Dad might be the best, but Mom was physical, and she really pushed us. And she was really great about just kind of giving me that edge. You can see the talent that Kyle has. A lot of it comes from his mom, guys.
Coming to the trade from Philadelphia. And has really found his home in a spot in the Utah rotation. Defending Vujacic on this trip. Kobe around the screen. Double team. 1 to shoot. Forces it up. Rebound Boozer.
Terrific hedge by Boozer to change the angle for Bryant to drive it.
Williams to the rim. Kobe the rebound. Numbers for the Lakers. The Jazz a little slow getting back. Vujacic open for 3.
Dagger. They are leaving no doubt.
The Lakers missed their first 5 threes tonight. They are 6 of 9 since. And we're looking more and more like the Lakers are heading home, up 3 games to 1. Korver for 3.
Crowd hasn't been able to get involved here in the second half. And Jerry Sloan, Deron Williams, Carlos Boozer, they all talked about the fact that in game 3, they call him the X factor in this building. We heard how loud they were. Uninvolved in the second half.
With a stay with the Lakers, 10 to shoot as we go under the 9-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. And to a timeout. It's the Lakers by 20 over the Jazz, looking for a 3-1 lead.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Goodyear.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah. Dan Schulman, Doris Burke, Nancy Lieberman. The NBA playoffs on ESPN. The Kobe Bryant Show, 34 tonight. The Lakers by 20. 3 previous times in Laker history they've won 65 or more and won the title. Did it back in 1972 in a 69-win season. Won 67 games 1 year with Kobe and Shaq. And won the title back in 2000. One of 3 for the Lakers under Phil Jackson. And it was some of those great Laker teams back in 1987. Kareem and the Magic won 65 games and won the title. 65 and 17 this year. Would not have home court. Cleveland would have home court if the Cavs and the Lakers meet in the NBA Finals. You got a long way to go to get to the Finals. This is just round 1. But boy, on a night like this, you can see how incredibly good the Lakers can be when everything is clicking.
Okay, well, let's just revisit that picture that came at us. The first picture was Jerry West and Wilt. The second picture was Kobe and Shaq. And I love Pau Gasol's game, but the third picture was Kobe and Pau.
And Kareem and Magic was the other.
And Kareem and Magic.
Not a bad assortment of.
If you're Pau Gasol, that's not bad company, is it?
Brewer on Kobe. 2 more. 36 for Kobe Bryant. And there hasn't been one smile on his face for 1 millisecond so far here tonight. He's had a killer instinct from the moment it began. Gasol over the back for the foul. So forget 5 of 24. 15 of 20. Those are the numbers you're thinking about right now, and he's still building on them.
Yeah, that shot went up, and Kobe just took that out of the air. And the play was dead, but it's like this guy hasn't stopped competing for a second.
Korver off the screen. Nice dump down to Boozer. And Ariza comes down with a rebound. Utah has gone cold. They've got only 21 points in the second half. Brown open, passed it up. Ariza surrounded and finally somehow found a way to get it up and in. First points of the night for Trevor Ariza. Shannon Brown called for the foul.
If this team is locked and loaded on 2 things, the Lakers, defense and rebounding, you know, it's hard to envision them getting beat because there's no question this team can score. They finished the year 3rd in the league in scoring, 106 points per game. It's really hard if they're locked in defensively to imagine somebody beating them.
And after getting out rebounded by 15 in Game 3 by the Jazz, the Lakers are up 7 on the glass here tonight. That wasn't the case in the first 8 or 10 minutes of the game. They really turned that around. Vujacic. Boozer over the board.
Well, Deron Williams is still competing. He's got to bring the guys with him.
Hasn't come out in this half, has it? Kirilenko from Williams. And for Deron Williams, assist number 10. He's still competing, but it's a big 20-point deficit for the Utah Jazz with 7.5 to go. Can Utah mount a huge comeback here down the stretch? Williams off to Kirilenko, 20-point lead for the Lakers. Deron Williams tonight with 21 points and 10 assists. That's the good news if you're a Utah fan. There's the bad news. The Lakers are up by 20, and Kobe Bryant has been slicing and dicing the Utah defense all night long to the tune of 36 points. And no matter who Jerry Sloan has tried on him, it hasn't really worked. And boy, you got to feel a little for Ronnie Brewer. If you just look at that graphic, you say, man, Ronnie Brewer has not done his job tonight. We're here to tell you he has worked hard, forced Kobe Bryant into tough, contested, hand-in-your-face jump shots, and it hasn't mattered one bit.
He has been sublime. And again, it's about his competitive spirit as much as it is the basketball skills. Yes, he's got every weapon. He's got to step back. He's got to fade away. He can go off the dribble in either direction. But tonight was as much about will for him as it was about his skill.
He was making a point tonight.
Yes.
He had heard enough about 5 out of 24 in Game 3. Shaking Brewer again, not this time. Rebound Williams.
Yeah, he's looking at the official coming up the floor. He really feels like there was some contact on his wrist, and that's why that shot was off.
Ariza knocks it away and then reaches in and commits the foul. Ariza gives them such a different dimension at the small forward spot. Vladimir Radovanovic was the starter earlier in the year, eventually traded. Luke Walton made a bunch of starts at that spot, but Ariza in the top 10 in the league in steals, can knock down the open shot, a really different look.
Well, how about Luke Walton? You're starting for the Los Angeles Lakers. You're starting. And you go to Coach Jackson and say, you know what? It's better for the team if Ariza starts. And that's the kind of unselfishness that you can build a championship team around.
And now you've got a bench, and in tonight's case, Bynum coming off the bench, still working it back from the knee injury. You've got a bench of Bynum and Walton, Shannon Brown, Sasha Vujacic, Jordan Farmar didn't play in Game 3, hasn't played a minute here tonight. But a pretty talented second unit for the Lakers.
Scary. You know Cleveland's watching. LeBron James knows everything that goes on in this league. Oh, come on.
This is getting outrageous.
That's not even fair. No. Is that fair?
He had absolutely no choice but to double pump, jump up in the air at the end of the shot clock, fade away, and take a high degree of difficulty shot, and he knocked it down. 16 out of 22 for Kobe, 38 points.
This is not fair. Yeah, he's making shots like this, and this is how hard the defender's working. I mean, Brewer is sticking in his grill. He's as close as you can be. Boy, okay. That crossover, what did that look like? Remember the shot Michael hit to win it?
Against Utah.
Against
Yeah.
Utah?
Yeah.
He shook that crossover. Who was the defender? Craig Elo? Was it? It was Craig Elo.
The Cleveland one or the Utah one?
The
Cleveland.
Utah one.
No, Utah one was Brian Russell.
Oh, where he
Utah.
threw him
Yeah.
off with his
Yeah.
left hand, but that
Yeah.
crossover looked just like Michael.
38 for Kobe. You got to feel for Ronnie Brewer.
Of course, our Utah camera guys were saying that was an offensive foul on Jordan Pushoff. No way.
Midway through the fourth here in Salt Lake City, the Lakers are up by 18. It has been the Kobe Bryant show most of the night. Bynum throws it away.
They've got to get him back and engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, their path to a championship will be a lot easier if Andrew Bynum is the Andrew Bynum we have seen develop over the last couple of years.
And he had some good games, played the last 4 regular season games, played pretty well. Did pretty well in the first 2 games of this series. Game 3 was a washout because of foul trouble. And as you can see, he's hardly touched the floor tonight. Now for Boozer. And a dozen rebounds, but he has been held in check to a certain extent. Has not made a field goal here in the second half. Kobe Bryant has kept pouring it on. And the Jazz have slowed down offensively. (10-2) run though for Utah. Still a 16-point deficit. Turnaround by Bynum. Rebound Kirilenko. Look out. Didn't see him coming. Ariza snuck around from behind. Wide open Ariza. Utah just didn't get back quickly enough.
That's not something you expect from Trevor Ariza, and this is something that he's developed lately, that ability to make jumpers.
Game 5 Monday night back at the Staples Center. The Lakers looking for a 3-1 lead. Kirilenko rejected.
There's so much size in there. They're going to contest with tremendous amount of length.
Kobe over Deron Williams, doesn't get the bounce. Odom with the follow. Too much size, too much skill tonight for the Lakers.
Now remember, this place has been a house of horrors for the Lakers.
Odom now with a double-double, 10 points, 13 rebounds, got 5 assists as well. Korver. And Bynum fouls Kirilenko. Number 3 on Bynum has only played 7 minutes.
Let's remember, this young guy is only 21 years of age. I mean, he's going to be a great player in this league for a long time to come, Andrew Bynum.
Beg your pardon, number 2 on Bynum.
But this is a very hard thing to do. Get yourself back in rhythm in a playoff series, especially at that age.
And in the luxury of a Lamar Odom, who started tonight for Phil Jackson along with Pau Gasol. So if Bynum's having an off night, you know you got Gasol and Odom in there and you're just fine. Odom rebound number 14.
He's been sensational all series, hasn't he?
Yep. A little bit of ball handling too. Bringing the offense into the front court. Korver on Kobe right now, and then Brewer comes over to help, comes up with a steal.
Got to be pretty efficient with their possessions here for Utah.
Ariza called for the foul for the Lakers, and Boozer will be heading back to the line. Deron Williams still has not come out of the game at any point in the second half. He has missed only 2 minutes in this game. And at the pace at which the Lakers are driving the ball up and down the court, and also having to cover Kobe Bryant on occasion, boy, that's got to take a toll.
Oh, no, there's no question. You know, game 1 and game 2, the Lakers were faster to the ball, faster off missed shots, faster in the passing lanes, faster up the floor. Game 3, Utah competed better, but it just doesn't look like they have enough defensively. It doesn't feel like a Jerry Sloan, tough-minded, defensive-oriented team.
Way short by Boozer. Odom another rebound. Well, they do have some youth on this team. As great as he is, Williams, and as much experience as he's gotten, he's still a young player. They're working into guys like Brewer and Miles. A steal by Boozer. Williams tries to run it down, but the pass led him a little bit too far, and Ariza steals it. Kobe. Korver on it. And the foul will go on Deron Williams, his fourth.
He looks winded. He absolutely looks fatigued. Pulling the shorts.
And the seconds rapidly ticking away on the Jazz, down to by 19, just over 3.5 to go. Ariza kicks it back down to Gasol. Jumper shot. And the seconds rapidly ticking away on the Jazz, down to by 19, just over 3.5 to go. Ariza kicks it back down to Gasol. Jumper short, and a foul on Boozer will send Gasol to the line. So Pau Gasol, who's had what seems like a quiet night, still has 13 points and 9 rebounds already. Has not had to be a big scorer because Kobe Bryant's done so much of that tonight.
Boy, we've seen a lot of free throws not even be close here.
Gasol missed 6 of them. In game 3, it was just 4 for 10. That was his first miss tonight. He's 5 for 6, but he missed that one badly. Well, we have seen Dallas take a 3-1 lead on San Antonio despite the big game from Tony Parker. Denver's up 2-1 on New Orleans. Houston will try to take a 3-1 lead at home against Portland tomorrow night, but the Lakers making a big statement here tonight about how good they can be when they're clicking on all cylinders. Gasol blocks the attempt from Millsap.
It's hard to watch Tim Duncan play, not 100% healthy. Avery Johnson was making that point at the half of our game, saying you are basically playing with 1.5 players, because without Manu Ginobili, who is a tremendous competitor, Tony Parker's healthy and productive, but it's hard to watch Tim Duncan. That was the team I think most people thought, Dan, had the best opportunity, if healthy, to compete with the Lakers.
No question. Williams off to Ronnie Brewer for the jam. Again, Utah not rolling over, but they're down to 17. Kobe Bryant, from the moment this game began, with a couple of body blows to the Jazz. Kobe never let up, and here in the second half, Utah just couldn't get it going. They scored only 35 points. Here in the second half, they allowed 60 to the Lakers in the first half. Korver just takes it right out of the hands of Gasol. Numbers for Utah. Williams to Boozer.
Oh, pretty play. Pretty look-off, little shoulder shake, and Phil Jackson taking a timeout, and he is hot.
Working on one of the officials. Well, they've had some great players. Stockton to Malone. They got Williams and Boozer now, but they're still down by 15. All right, Jonesy back here in Salt Lake City. A 15-point lead for the Lakers. Just over 2 minutes to go. And Phil Jackson was some kind of hot going into that last timeout. And it looked like after he stared down one of the officials, it was Lamar Odom he was really upset at. Went right at Odom. Nancy Lieberman was near the Laker huddle. Nancy, what's going on?
It's kind of interesting, Dan, because he went and made a beeline for Lamar Odom. They got face-to-face, and he had some words to say to him. He was not happy with his effort. From a coaching perspective, you want to close this thing out as it goes away. You don't want a team to feel like they have confidence. Odom, to his credit, turned around and walked away, not to have that confrontation with Coach Jackson. Dan?
And overall, Nancy, as we've all seen tonight, Odom's had a terrific night in a variety of respects. But if Phil Jackson, forget the score, forget the time, he knows if they're going to get as far as they want to get, He's coaching for tomorrow as much as he's coaching for tonight.
Yeah, that's a great point. And look at Lamar. I mean, that's just his personality, what you saw. Okay, he got ripped, but he came out with a smile on his face. He's one of the most popular teammates on the Lakers. They love the guy. And again, I'll go back to something Jeff Van Gundy said. People want to pick apart Odom for not being a dominant scorer. This guy likes to pass it and facilitate teammates more than he likes to dominate offensively.
Kobe fouled. The regulars remaining in the game for both sides despite a 15-point deficit and 2 minutes to go. Deron Williams still in there. Kobe Bryant still in there. Carlos Boozer still in there.
Yeah, how about Lamar's line for tonight? 10 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. He's initiated the offense.
Odom no. Rebound Boozer. Game 5 will be Monday night at the Staples Center. The Lakers will have an opportunity to wrap up the series as Deron Williams is fouled on his way to the bucket. Sports Center is coming up next here on ESPN. Steve Levy, Matt Weiner will give you in-depth coverage of the NFL draft, also highlights from the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs, and also another wild game between the Yankees and Red Sox in anticipation of Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow night between those two teams at Fenway Park.
Did we have a first in NFL draft history? Because I felt like watching the clips, and I didn't see it live, but it looked like the New York fans erupted in joy.
They cheered.
I think that's a first.
You're a bit of a Jets fan, aren't you? Or are you Giants?
I'm a New York.
You're a New York fan.
Other than the Lakers, who I grew up loving, I've been a New York sports fan my whole life. So my heart broke when Patrick lost in Game 7 to the Houston Rockets. It just broke.
Big Jeff Van Gundy groupie back in the day. 13-point lead, a minute and a half to go. An incredible effort tonight from Kobe Bryant with 38 points as Fisher knocks down the corner three. He's into double figures. 5 Lakers in double figures, 2 others with 9 points tonight. But really, Kobe the story. From the moment the game began, he scored 17 seconds into the game. He had 13 of the Lakers' first 15 points, and he is 16 out of 23. Perfect from the line, 38 points in the game. And Ronnie Brewer deserved better tonight. He worked hard. He had a hand in Kobe's face. He made him take tough jumpers. Didn't matter. Fisher forcing it at the end of the shot clock. And a violation on the Lakers. And as Jerry Sloan said to Nancy Lieberman a while back, he feels the Jazz haven't been able to stop Kobe Bryant as long as he's been in the league. And this is Kobe's 13th year.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a team in the West that could stop LA.
Well, a lot of the Jazz fans have decided to beat traffic, and all of a sudden you look up in the stands, you see a whole lot of purple and gold. Kobe. And the final seconds will tick away as Brewer gets the jam. Another assist for Williams, but it's the Los Angeles Lakers in impressive fashion in a hostile road environment who will go up 3 games to 1 and look to close out the Jazz on Monday night. Thursday night, 24 shot attempts, he made 5. Tonight, 24 shot attempts, he made 16. At 38 points, and at times, Doris, it looked like he was out there playing against high school kids tonight. He was just dominating and getting anything he wanted.
Didn't matter who checked him.
Let's go to Nancy Lieberman, who's got Kobe Bryant with her.
Well, thank you very much. And I do have Kobe Bryant. I am so impressed with the mindset of this basketball team, considering you struggled here with this team in Utah over time. What was it about the team that we were able to win so easily?
Well, the thing about this team is when we were struggling, everybody on this team was pretty much in middle school. So, you guys don't really think about that stuff. We just come in here and play hard and try to win.
Okay, Kobe, you've said many times this year that you want a chance not only to get to the finals, but to win another title. How much will your defense play a part of that becoming a reality?
Well, if we're going to win a championship, it has to be defensively. Offensively, it comes and goes. Even though we're a great offensive team, you can't be on every night. So it's important that we keep the defense first and foremost.
All right, what will the mindset be when you're back in LA Monday with a chance to close out the series?
Well, be mature. Be a mature professional team. Try to handle our business.
And your effort tonight, do you have to come up with 35, 38 points every time you play, or do you defer to some of your teammates in these situations?
No, it's not something that I have to do it. It's just it's a bonus. It's a feature for this ball club. I've been sitting back, relaxing, probably waiting a little bit too much when scoring is one of our best features. So it's important for me to be aggressive.
All right, thank you very much. Dan.
All right, Nancy, yeah, he's a bonus. He's a feature, all right. 38 points tonight, 16 out of 24, all Kobe, all the time. As the Lakers beat the Jazz 108-94 and take a 3-1 lead in the series. They'll go back to LA in the Staples Center and try to wrap it up on their home court.